You will find the regions where the houses were.
The Washita Moors. So we have to understand when brothers are getting you with that Negro black color stuff. But Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation. Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors, ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all racial agitating speeches while at work or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its place or course. A member who or members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or prophet or violate the divine covenant of Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws that are laid down by our prophet. And if you lose confidence in the prophet, they should turn in their collars and buttons and cease wearing their turbans and fez and return to the state where he found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the temple. This is the everlasting movement found to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By order of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So now let's get personal with things. Let's talk about something before we get into this teaching. When we're talking to the NBCs, I was just having a conversation with one of my brothers in Vegas, Brother Dale, and we're building this temple in Vegas. We're getting ready to have a meet and greet, and I hope when we put this out here, I hope more has come. But this is my thing when I tell brothers and sisters. You got to understand, if you are someone that's not part of the Moorish Science Temple, you're about the Moorish Science Temple. It's set up a certain way, you get established, no matter what state you're in, no matter what city you're in, you are part of Moorish Science Temple of America. If there's no temple in your city, in your state, you have to create one. That's what Noble Drew Ali is telling you. Once you become a Moor, you're part of Moorish. We got to understand the same thing. So my brothers and sisters, that's so-called religious and spiritual. Our Moorish science, we have religious and spirituality. I'm going to talk about it today. And that's what I tell brothers and sisters. It's a type. All Moors not right. All Muslims can say not wrong if they follow the context is what I'm saying. All Moors are not right when they punching that out Islam religious stuff. That's your personal thing, but that's not Moorish science divine creed. In Moorish science Islam, God and man is one. In European Christianity, God and man is separate. In Al-Islam, that's promulgated to people, that's misconnotated. God and Allah and man is separate. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. So if you are a copper color race and you say you divine and you say you respect your foremothers and your forefathers, and you're not going into your divine creed, and you're not under, and you telling people it don't matter. Moorish science, we are law-abiding citizens. We have a divine creed and nationality. Everybody have a nationality. In Moorish science, in Moorish American Islamism, God and man is one. Those other religions, man-made religions, God and man is separate. So when you ask a Moorish American, do we have a religion or a spirituality? We absolutely do. Our spirituality, about the essence of self, arm, leg, arm, head. They're not talking about I, self, law, and master. And that's why I said you have to be a Moor. And if you study and you want to be a part of the Moorish Science Temple, because you should have the literature, you understand the wisdom. Other people are operating on their own understanding. Noble Drew Ali built a house. All we have to do is live in it and perfect. State is you. It puts you right in the proper jurisdiction. But you don't know no more. America, stuff that's already established. I keep telling Moors, you don't have to argue with nobody. Hebrew Israelite brothers, I understand what you're saying, but that's not your religion. Don't you? I show brothers and sisters our paperwork and our adapt papers, our birthright papers and everything. It said we are from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David. There's no arguing. There's no arguing more when I see brothers giving misinformation, especially brothers that's Hebrew Israelite, and even some more saying that they're not one. That's a lie. What is our diet, Moors? What is our diet? Our diet is the Hebrew diet. You know damn well it's true. And our lesson, what's the pantheon of gods? The Hebrew God. That's why I'll be laughing. When I be speaking, I'll be talking about things. I know brothers not reading and studying. The Quran. It's in your Moorish Quran. Brother be saying they adapts. It's in your adapt lesson who the pantheon of God is. It's in the secret brotherhood of the East. It's in there. And all brothers be doing is arguing. That's why I say you can't be reading your Circle 7 Quran. Our diet is the Hebrew diet. In our Quran, it talks about the pantheon of God, which is the Hebrew God, which is the Circle 7, which is the Logos. Y'all know this. And if they don't, y'all tripping. We respect all the laws and the prophets. Jesus, which was Yahshua, because there never was a J in the Hebrew dialect, Confucius, Muhammad, and Buddha. And when you go to first century history, the pen was changed. They changed the Quran pen from brown and short to tall and white, even in the biblical text. That's why they don't talk about Ruth and Priscilla and Tamara and all those Canaanite people. I keep telling you, man, you just have to find yourself in all the truths. That's all. You got to get out of the active and brothers and sisters and their analogy and their allegory, parable, and symbology. You got to know what connotated and denotated mean. I keep telling you, this is a science. This ain't nobody could just go on and reading one word and come back, bring you some false information, telling you to fill some affidavit out, and they don't even study law. They're not studying indigenous people law and policy and people and property, telling you to do something, and the law has changed. They don't even know the verbiage. They don't even speak the language, and then they telling you to do something that they're not doing, Moors. Come on. All of them got jobs with Social Security numbers, filing taxes. They telling you to do something. Come on, Moors. They telling you what not to do, and they don't understand of what the 501 church and state was all about in that context, because a certain individual didn't want preachers to be mixing politics and religion, not for other things. How you going to do things in your community and you don't even understand what nonprofit is? You don't even understand why you think Goodwill and all these companies doing things, getting done. You don't even understand the dynamics. You just Googling stuff, and I be laughing. You can't learn about more science or law, Google University. It can't happen. You're going to get so much misinformation. There's so many brothers talking about, oh, I'm more science temple this, and they're not even more telling the show. Because if that's who you are, it's no reason to be mad with somebody asking you. That's just like a religious preacher and religious dogma. When you ask them something, they get mad and upset. So let's get into this. I pray that I think peace, speak peace, and that I am peace. I pray that I think truth, speak truth, and that I am truth. I pray that I speak love, think love, and that I am. I pray everything I attract and you attract harmonious vibrations. May the light within me, may the light within you serve as a beacon for those that need it. Amen. Amen Ra. Ayah. Shalom Malachim. Ashe. Amen. Amen Ra. Whatever you want to say. Assalamu alaikum. Why you think in school and pseudo academia they start our babies off in 1700 this way and that's it? And they think their history started slavery. You don't question nothing. You think words somebody saying are English words, and I'm telling you, words that you're using are Greek and Latin. And depending on how the word was spelled in that context, it can be adjective, verb, adverb. We don't know. We just repeating stuff because we're not scholars and you're getting laughed at. I'm telling you. It's supposed to be some under that fez. Nobody's elected nothing. You're supposed to be appointed. And appointed means it's supposed to be something about you. You're supposed to understand the wisdom. Somebody telling you something, you just gonna roll with it. They telling you, oh, I gotta take you through the adapt chamber, this, that. What's the adapt chamber? They're not telling you, right in the Circle 7 Quran, it talks about the Hermetic principles. If you Moors, you know that. What your workman tools are for. And you let some goofball Negro with the fez on talk about, oh, that's masonry. Man, what it is. We playing. They got us all spread it. We don't understand landmass. You got to understand time periods and dispensations and understand what words mean and ace 12th century, like saccharin, how they try to put they with Arabia, but Muslim is not a nationality. It's all a wordplay. And you just connecting things. And I say, well, you got to understand what dispensation and what context. It's a science. It's a science. And truth has no size. Yes. Get out your feelings, Moors. This is a science. Science got you in this. Science and law get you out of this. So may the benison of Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head, be upon thee and not always, as thou should strive to be a credit to Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head, and more science. Make haste to bestow thy acts of love upon thy brother, and do thy best to shun all evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that ye might nourish the souls of men. Let thy be the shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Knoweth that thou need not to pick the lock to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft. For behold, Moors, the keys of thy salvation already rest within your own hands, Moors. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, inconsistency, there is still the greater part of our nature that is divine, Moors. Don't we understand this is science? May Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. May Yahweh, YHWH, when you stand it up, that's manifestation of man. Signs and symbols. I'll give you, get primordial man. Get the primordial man, Moors. It's things that you should know. Where is that? I don't even know where somebody, you think of somebody, everything to the world. You brought everything to the world. You playing. Because they're not scientists. Because they're not philosophers. They're getting you with dogma. Nobody not science. They're not connecting the dots for you. Moors build bridges, not walls. More is not an English word. More have a plethora of things. Context, Moors. Context. When I tell brothers, what's carbon? What's melanin? What color is it? What color is the sun once you get a million miles close to it? Black. What's the color spectrum? Everything that comes from dark comes to light. They got you twisted. You can't get no dark from no other color, but dark is the color spectrum. You get everything from dark. I keep telling Moors, you've been bamboozled. Wait. Pseudo. Moors, we got pseudo academia. Look who his brother. Look at it. What it is. What linguistic apartheid is. Context. 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 Who's using it? For instance, in a positive context of more, and they put a context of black on it. That's just enslaving. They might color, but you know you ain't black. It's still putting your nationality more. See, we got to get out this dumb stuff and understand both levels. And you stand strong on your square with love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. But you let some goofball tell you what it is because they don't study. I see brothers posting books and they don't even read the books. I be quoting stuff, the books that I read. I see brothers that have books on their pages. And when I talk about, they like, man, what you talk about? I said, bro, you posted the stuff on your page. You got the books. But then that tells me brothers not reading nothing. Brothers that's reposting stuff. I see brothers that having literature, and when I speak upon the literature, they don't know what I'm talking about. For real, man. And the same one, they be lying. We posted meme, you putting the meme on there with some words under there. That's not what the person said. If the person was alive, they can sue. Don't you know you can sue a person? You take a person's picture and put words under it saying that they see people putting pictures and then that ain't even no truth to it. Like certain words, I can't even remember. Somebody said this word meant sin. And I said, a little research would have told you that's not true. But all we do is repost stuff. Sad. And we'll go join some other operation and send our monies in here. Sad, man. Sad. Sad. Yeah. So somebody got to tell the truth. Brothers arguing with each other. Especially my brother, my Hebrew Israelite brothers, you arguing. Why are you arguing with people? That's your culture. But everyone have one nationality. Don't you see the picture with the prophet with everybody with their different national headdress on? What are we looking at, Moors? Come on. We talk about the Asiatic nation, copper colored races. What are you thinking about? You think everybody under the same culture? You think everybody a Hebrew Israelite per se? What about the tribe of Benjamin? What about the other tribes? What about the Ottoman Empire? You getting things twisted because some Bible say you the chosen one. You got to be, you tripping, man. So when we talk about things, Moors, we got to understand what science is and what the zodiac laws is, Moors. America, if anything, what you were under the wrong teaching, you was a Christian, wasn't no Al-Islam here. See, but you get mad, you get butthurt all in your feelings because somebody telling you something from their religious dogma. They're not telling you from no side because scholarship has no sides. I'm talking about American Islam and only one. So listen, the image, crumbling 1920s photograph of an American black man dressed in robe, sash, and fez, posing formally, hand and breast like Napoleon, labeled Prophet Noble Drew Ali, 1886 to 1929. To recover the obscure portrait, we must rediscover a lost or portion history. Do you hear the pen of our history? It didn't say black history. It didn't say that. It said of our history. Because we are more American nationals. For American history is defined for us as much by its absences and disappearances as by its official presence. Indeed, perhaps even more so. Listen to this, Morris. The official sources describe Noble Drew Ali as found black in America. Are we clear? Are we clear? In truth, he was less than this. Listen to what he's saying. For there were black Muslims here before him. We got to know this. You got to go back in history. When you talk about the European pen, like Adam Blavatsky of the Secret Doctrine. Look her up. She was taught by Bayes. Everybody was taught by Bayes. So we got to understand history, what they're saying. But he was also more than this. He was an American prophet. He was an American prophet. Do you hear me, Morris? He could have stepped from the pages of Melville or Ishmael, read a thought of Allah clothed in flesh, a fact, a poetic fact. Y'all keep talking. Noble Drew Ali was in the system before. He had his European name, Timothy Drew. Duh. Y'all arguing over dumb stuff and say you Moors. Timothy Drew was born mostly at January 8, 1886 in North Carolina, child of ex-slaves among the Cherokee Indians, Moors. They supposed to adopt him. In the life, he always wore a feather in his fez. History. And I ain't going all the way in it. Get Peter Lambert Wilson, Sacred Drift, Essays of the Margin of Islam, and read it instead of just getting stuff off people's page and reposting memes, because I'm peeping it. And then when I be asking brother stuff, I'm like, man, you just repost them stuff, man. In scholarship, you can't even do it. Where are your sources? Where are your reference? I like some stuff, but when brothers copy and paste and repost stuff, and then you ask them something, brothers just reposting stuff. This is a science, man. And it's only few doctors. It's only few master adepts. It's only a few of us that's willing to do the work, that's willing to tell the truth, that's willing to say, hey, this is what it is. I'm not here to tell you nothing. We can have our own temple, but you go, if you say you're a part of Moorish Science Temple, just do it the right way. For real, Moors. We playing. Let's dig, man. So we talk about the sacred sermon and all that stuff. Those are things that I talk about when we talk about connecting ourselves to the spirit. When I talk to most niggas and I say, listen, man, more science is all you need. Because in more science, God and man, Allah and man is one. It's nothing else. What do y'all believe in? Y'all some Muslims? I didn't say that. I said we're American Muslims. I, self-law and master. And our spirituality, our religion, God and man is one. You talk to a brother, they should feel that. A brother should feel God and man is one. But not only that, you get into more science, brother, you get your divine creed and nationality. to add on to your divine creed. Because in Moorish science, God and man is one. You tell me what man-made religion, God and man is one. It's not. Brothers can make up and act like they know something. Show me some literature. Show me the book. God and man is separate. All religion, Moorish and nationality. And we know this. And that's all we need. More science. That's all we need. Obeying our forefathers and foremothers. Islam is ours. That's why we don't know what it is. That's why you don't know what it is. I'm telling you. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. I see Christians and Muslims arguing, and Hebrew Israelites don't know all the pen is all the same. Don't know the pen is all the same. Because you're not historians. You get out your feelings. Get out your feelings. When Muhammad walked the earth, it was under the Byzantine Empire. Y'all know this. Who was his wife? Khadijah. Who was Khadijah's cousin? Reregar, high warming priestess. Y'all got to know this. Read the Bukhari Hadith written in 8. Listen, the Dap Chamber, the third paradise, it had revealed in the inner triplicity in announcing the formation of 3 orders of degrees within itself, Moors. The Fatimid Rite, Fatimid, the order, the Fatimid order, the order of Jerusalem, and the order of the Parsalet. Come on, Moors, y'all know that. Y'all know it, but you arguing. Because they're not real Moors, man. They just niggas with fez on. I'm saying it. Because that's what I see y'all. Oh, I'm gangster Moor. You supposed to be noble Moor. Noble. No cross a brother with a fez on the Moors, brother. And he say, and you ask him what religion you are. And he say, oh, I'm a Christian. And he say, what your Christianity believe in? And he say, oh, I believe it. Well, across a brother with a fez on the Moors, brother. And he say, and you ask him what religion you are. And he say, oh, I'm in my Christianity, God and man is one. Why are you arguing? Why are you arguing? See, if a brother that's a Muslim, he say you Muslim, he say am I Muslim, you know, I'm under Allah and my God and man is one. He rocking and rolling. But when you giving misconfusion saying the Moorish Science Temple or we're this, some Arab Islam, you lying. You totally lying out your mouth because we American Islam. And in Moorish science, Allah, man, God, and man is one. And you know that's the truth. On ancient writings, yes, in a certain time, Muslim and Muslim was interchangeable, not as no religion. Y'all got to know this. Stop lying to the people. Stop lying to the people. They're getting you caught up with religious dogma. I don't care if a brother didn't know what Ali tell you. Your brother will send you back in slavery with misinformation, with some religion, and religion been killing people forever. It's doing it right now, and we afraid to talk about it. Religion. Come on. So let's get to this, man. They represent the 3 Western monotheism and the essential and the esoteric harmony. Amity of faith is achieved through hearsay, non-canonical interpretations of doctrine, Moors. These are the religions as the MOC views them, which makes use of the esoteric Christian and Rosicrucian Apocrypha by a syncretic principle we have inherited when we talk about synchronicity. So let me show you more something. Let me show you more something real quick. When brothers just be talking, let me see, do I got one of my, I want to show you more of something. I got to show you some more of something. Here we go. Now, let me read this again before we get things right. In the light of Noble Drew Ali, Circle 7 Quran, which makes use of the esoteric Christian and Rosicrucian Apocrypha by a syncretic principle we have inherited. When I talk about synchronicity, look that up, what that means, Moors. So, but you don't know. You arguing. Prince Hall Masons ain't nothing. See, you get Prince Hall Masons ain't nothing. See, Prince Hall Masons argue with Moors. because the Prince Hall Masons went got they got their rights from the Europeans. So I ain't talking about no Prince Hall Masons. I'm talking about Moors. That's what I be telling brother. We be so quick to open our mouths. That show me that brother's not studying. That tells me, because you get it's all connotated information, meaning the bottom you. When you look in the Williams and the Egyptians, look up King Menkaure, all that. 99th primitive right of Mismas in Israel. But we want to argue religious dogma. I'm telling you, remove the veil of religious dogma, no light. And when you reveal light to people, they get burned. They get burned. So back to Moorish Islam. The Fatim order is primary Islamic. Specifically, it deploys a spiritual initiate affiliation with revolutionary Islamism and the transmission of the what, Moors? My brothers, my brother that's Muslims, what is it? See, you don't know. They don't know. The Hafiziyya, they don't know. Hafeziyya, because there's no light in them, because you don't ask questions. Whose imams were the caliphs of the Fatim dynasty of Egypt, 913, 1171. See? 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 Religious dogma. I told you, when you shine light on somebody, it burn their ass and they get mad. And then they put their tail in their butt. We know who you are. Everybody know who you are. Everybody know. Everybody say the same thing about a particular person. That's why they block this person. You know who you are. See, we know who you are. So we don't hide behind nothing. Show your, we don't hide. This line supposedly disappeared and is not represented by any church in the world today of the FO, which owes no allegiance to the Nizaris or the Karmatis or the Boras or the other extended Islamic sects. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. You know this. I don't answer no questions. Research. I told you. I told more. I don't answer. If you say you are more who you are, your question should be answered, because the keys to any question you have is in your hands. I just gave the benefit of Allah. That's why I said Moors. I said, no, is that now needest to pick the lock to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal or backbiting with your brother. For behold, the key already rests within your own hands. And you ask somebody to answer your question. That's religious dogma. I tell you something, and then you roll with it. You don't research it. Religious dogma, man. That's why I said we operate on love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. Nobody ruffle my feathers, man. I delete people for life. I told you, I'd have been through the fire. Religious dogma, you can run with that. You can run with that. You can run with that religious dogma. I tell anybody that's religious, they get mad. Follow the trail. But the orders concern themselves with the Hermeticism in the Egyptian Islamic tradition and with the practices of the initiate dreaming in the Awazi Sufi tradition. When I be telling y'all Sufism, you going around saying Noble Drew Ali did this? Sufism. 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 Master without qatif or affiliation. They know it. That's why they get mad. Religious dogma. Arabism. And with the study of revolutionary theory and praxis in Islamic history. In Islamic history, the order follows a principle which might be called what? Y'all know what it is. And consider each of the votes as a what? Pretender to the throne of the imaginary Egypt. Y'all know it. Look at the pen. When you research first century pen, it tell you how they changed the color of everything. The order of Jerusalem, the Jewish, but specifically Judeo-Canaanite or Hebrew-pagan or Jewish magical in emphasis. Connect the dots, y'all. Jerusalem is the symbolic capital of the city of the three monotheisms. Y'all know that, right? And thus of special interest to the Adapt chamber. See? 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 Thank you, sister. Tell him to leave. Thank you, sister. Tell a brother to get his goofball self on somewhere. We teach. And I told you, when a person come with religious dogma, what I tell you more is the first thing what happened. They get mad because it's not more science and there's no light in them. We stand in the fire, man. I'm from Flint, Michigan. Exactly, sister. Exactly. I challenge Morris to research, study, Connect the dots. We are Moors. We adapt. We build bridges, not walls. I'm giving you the lesson for you can study for yourself, or you can ask all questions. What this triple rose is. Why you got religions arguing with each other. I tell you about Moorish science. What do Noble Drew Ali tell us? We obey all the laws and the prophets. Muhammad, Confucius, Buddha, Jesus, which is Yahshua, because there never was a J in the Hebrew alphabet. We know this, but we don't argue. I tell you, we stand strong in our square, Moors, when you know what you're talking about. There's no reason. No reason. We know this wisdom. We know this wisdom. You know why? Because the tradition of the Sabbatati, the Sabbatati Sevi, research it. The Sabbatati Sevi, the false Messiah who converted to Islam in 1666. They know that. See, that's why they get mad. The dome of the rock and the temple, symbolized by the Burqa, the half mule, the half angel beast that Muhammad rode to paradise, launching from the rock to the seventh heaven. Come on, man. See, we study. No religious dogma here. No religious dogma. The Siluric order. And that awards all that members the chivalry of the Moorish order of Jerusalem. The purpose of the knights to foster and protect the mission in Jerusalem and to work for peace 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 through interfaith harmony or synchronicity. The order of the Paracel is Christian. It's Christian, but since it admits potentially any form of Christianity, it is infinitely flexible and expansive. Do you hear me, Moors? The Paracel, the one who is come, had been identified with Muhammad and also with the Holy Spirit in the millennialism of Joachim of Fior, who saw an age of the Father, which is the law, and the age of the Son, which is the church, succeeded by an angel of the Spirit. You got to understand this esotericness. Get out your feelings and religious dogma. The utopian millennium, perfect freedom, as one millennium approaches. The OP, research that, will function to give an esoteric interpretation and an outward manifestation to this deal. See, the Circle 7 Quran, the following the Christian things play role in the form of the OP. You got to know what I'm talking about. The brethren of the free spirit, the Ammonites, the Bengars and the Benguins, the Christian Kabbalists, the alchemists, the Hermetists, the Renaissance, the Neoplatonism and the magic, the Celtic, which we are. The reason why they get you, let me see, do I got my Celtic book up here? Let me show you some more. How they get you not to research stuff. Because I told you in history, how they changed the pen, they'd change all the figures and make them European, but have them in your clothing. When you research the Celtic magic, they'll have all the Europeans dressed up in Moorish wear. That's why I said they got you arguing over religion and they studying the mind and the brain. Look at that's Moorish attire. Look, you ain't got to listen to me. But see, we argue over things, and that's part of the mission. We don't argue over religion. We keep it stepping because we Moors. You see? You see what I'm saying? So they take everything from you and connotate it and keep you away from it, and you think it's something scary. Gnosticism links you right to Egypt. It links you right to Egypt, family. We gotta understand that. The synchronism of rituals, your native rituals. The single most creative source of spiritual strength in America today. When we're talking about things, or Judaism, the OP have already spawned affiliation with several nations of free churches. It was a Moorish Orthodox church. It was certain things. That's why I tell brothers, we got to get with types and get out our feelings. It's all a type. Everything is a type. You want the right type of husband. You want the right type of job. You want the right type of career. I hope you want the right type of teaching. You want the right type of food. You want the right type of diet. Does the black bear eat what the polar bear eat? No, whole different chemical makeup. Come on, man. Now, research another thing, Morris. Research something else. The main purpose of all the orders will be to organize Organize. What are we more? Navigate. Organize. Intercommunion. Don't you know the sign when we say the lion and the lamb supposed to lay, go to sleep and wake up together? Understand that esoterically and exoterically. Research it. There's no reason to argue. But a free Christian so-called churches. Look up what the prophet did. You got to look how names are interchangeable. When he say navigate, when Noble Drew Ali tell you, if I can get you to think, you can save yourself. But we don't understand it. Research about the Fatimid order and the order of Jerusalem could carry a similar affiliate conjunctions, but neither yet has done so. Research that. Research that. All this will seem unfamiliar with the uninitiated because I told you. What did Noble Drew Ali tell you? In the Moorish Science Temple, you get the first 32 and 33 degrees. In the temple, when he put the fez on and your turban on your head. Real Moors know that. That's why I said we don't get caught up in naming. We don't get caught up in nothing what nobody said. Because Noble Drew Ali gave us our stuff. We get our 32 and 33 in the Moorish Science Temple. That's why the European nations call themselves sons of Muslims. That's why they don't get to put the fez on until they pass 32 and 33. And they become what? Shrine. But see, we argue. But like I tell you, my brothers and sisters, we're going to go over this real adapt training tomorrow. I love you all. I love truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. Let's get it in.